3. Hey everybody, this is Jeff Veale, the business guru, coming to you from, yes, downtown Manila in the Philippines. And we're wrapping up for this month our 15 minutes of fame, where you would have had the opportunity to get your 15 minutes of fame on LinkedIn, Facebook, Snapchat, Redox, �𝐤𝐬, and 9 other platforms, including YouTube, with all your links, put you in front of thousands of people throughout the world, totally free. When you think a TV commercial costs $30,000, 10 radio spots is $5,000. It's a pretty good deal when you get this deal for free. So guys, I've got a very interesting guest today, and she's going to tell you all about herself very shortly. And I'm going to introduce you. Her name is Shanley Ewen-Smith, a Redox specialist. And the company name, help me out with that, Charlene. The company name is?
ASEA, and
ASEA.
My name is pronounced Shanley. Yeah, Shanley. That's okay, though.
I told you
Am
guys.
I good with that?
I told you guys. See what I got to put up with? Now you feel sorry for me, guys? Anyway, the industry is a health and wellness and anti-aging and athletic performance. Years in the industry, 15 years. The company's been established, but personally for 5 years. Brief description. Shanley helps people who want more out of life, and that we all want more out of life, to radiate optional health, pursue their passion, and live with joy and purpose. And I've got bad news for you guys. This is not a dress rehearsal. You are not coming back. So if you're not living it with joy and purpose, I feel sorry for you. Okay, brief description. Let's have a look. Key achievements or projects. There's a heap of them here, guys. Like the encyclopedia. So I'll let Shanley tell you all about that. Personal motto or philosophy: your health is your greatest wealth. You only live once, so make it count. Interesting fact, she was on a sailing boat traveling in the Caribbean in Central America and was attacked by Johnny Depp and his pirates, who desperately tried to take their possessions in their boat. After being dragged up onto the reef and enduring 3 hours of fending off large rocks and people and men with machetes, they escaped. Isn't that awesome? They escaped. And she's here today to tell the tale. Good afternoon, Shanley. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you so much for having me here.
No trouble. Much. It's my great pleasure. Tell us about, let's get started. Tell us about the journey and what inspired you to pursue your current career path, please.
I'd love to. Thank you. So it was 4 years ago, sorry, almost 5 years ago now, I was introduced to ASEA and their cellular health technology called Redox Signalling Molecules. And at the time, I was really on the lookout for alternative treatments to help heal the body. And that was because my father was diagnosed with a hereditary disease. And I think as you get older, the more and more people around you are starting to sort of fall ill with a lot of things. And it really hits home. And I started to think, how can I, find something to help my dad and also keep myself healthy and my family healthy for the long term. It's easier to prevent something than to deal with it once you've got it.
Sure.
So it inspired me to join ASEA when I learned about how this US biotech company called ASEA was able to replicate a redox signaling molecule from the human body and make it available to supplement with. So the reason why that's so significant is because these redox signaling molecules are inside of our body already. If we don't have enough, as we get older, after the age of puberty, we start to lose our body's ability to make it by 10% each decade. So when we're middle-aged, we only have half the amount of redox molecles we had when we were young. But they have a very important function.
I might have none. I'm 75. I might have
none.
Not
have many. Right.
Yeah.
But they have a super important function in our body because they are the communication system between the cells. They're the actual things that facilitate cell repair and regeneration. So now that we can put back in what we lack, we can therefore trigger healing at the body's most foundational level inside the cell. So once I heard that, I was really inspired to check it out for myself and see what it could do for me. And, eventually share it with the rest of the world once I started to see some results around me. So, yeah.
I get it. Guys, you'll notice that when you're younger, you get a cut, you'll notice a small nick or something, it sort of heals in 1 or 2 days. But you'll find when you get older, it's more like 2 or 3 weeks. So there's
100%.
that's what Shanley's sort of talking about, the regeneration factor. Tell me, what's been the most challenging aspect of your work and how have you overcome it, please?
I think the most challenging aspect of my work has been learning how to drive myself as a business owner. So I've always worked for other people in my life, and time management was a big thing because you can
I'm
always be
laughing. I know
very
all
busy
about it.
being busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get it, right? You're busy being busy, but you're not actually accomplishing the tasks that help you to move forward. So, yeah, I think juggling, I think we all have many roles in our life, right? We're not just business
Sure. Yeah,
owners, we're mothers, we're
yeah,
fathers,
all that.
parents,
Yeah.
right? You know, wife, whatever. And just juggling a balance between working from home, because a job
Yeah.
working, like a business working from home, can really creep into your personal life.
Yes, correct.
So I had to get, yeah, how I overcame that was really just getting really disciplined and really good with time management. So making sure, especially though, and this didn't happen at the beginning, that I carved out some special time for myself in the very first part of the day. So making sure I
Awesome.
filled my own cup so that
Yep.
it could overflow to the rest of my day, my business, my family, my friends, so on and
No,
so forth.
you've got it
So,
under
yeah.
control. So you got, what you're telling me is you got sick of working for idiots and you decided to work for a lunatic, right?
Correct.
That's how it is. Tell me,
Yeah.
you find out the hard way, guys, when you've got to pay the bills. Tell us an important
Yeah.
moment in your career that changed your direction and which you're now going.
I think the important moment in my career was when my 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 business, which was really only a hobby to start with, actually became a business.
Yes.
And it probably happened about a year into the picture. And that was when I started to see the results of the people around me who I'd introduced it to. So,
Mhm.
a very quick example of that. One lady was introduced to this technology through a naturopath that I'd originally shown it to her. She's
Mhm.
77 years old now, and she'd been dealing with a kidney condition for like her whole life. She was constantly getting checkups and treatment at the hospital, and was told that, you know, she'd have that forever. Now, after a few years of drinking redox signaling molecules, her health started to regain, and suddenly she didn't need those those medications anymore that they were prescribing,
Sure.
and her body was able to heal itself through the supplementation of redox.
Not bad.
Um, and this lady is fitter now than she's ever been before. She rides her bike to the golf course. She plays 18 rounds of golf. She rides home again. And all of the people in her, you know, around her age are, you know, on golf buggies and got a lot of aches and pains in the body.
Sure.
So that was pretty a momentous experience. The other one was another lady I'd introduced it to, who gave it to her kids who were on the spectrum. And within 8 weeks, both the school teachers had come to the mother and said, "What's changed? Like suddenly there's no more outbursts in class. There's no more you know, lack of attention, all those kind of typical behaviors. Suddenly, for the first time, they're participating in class conversations. They're really engaged. They seem really happy in themselves, and they've actually started making friends for the first time."
Awesome.
That little last line brought that mother to tears, you know. So that's when a pivotal point for me, when I realized, you know, and I must make a disclaimer here, the ASEA redox is not intended to treat, diagnose, or cure any disease or illness, because what it actually does is simply empowers your own body to do its own healing. But when
Mhm.
I started to see some of these stories around me, I'm like, wow, I've got to tell the world about this. This is really something special. So
Very nice.
yeah,
In your opinion, what are the key
yeah.
qualities or skills that you believe have contributed to your success? Obviously, your determination, but what else?
I definitely think personal development. So
Very
I
important.
only really started on that, very, very important. And I'd only really started on that at the beginning of my journey with ASEA. I'd never really heard of it before. And I
Mhm.
kind of was very naive to think that I had it all under control. When I started listening to personal development books, it just opened my eyes to so many possibilities and opportunities for my life. And it helped me to also overcome those feelings I think that we all have of, not believing in yourself or self-sabotage, like you're always sort of listening to the negative rather than the positive inside of your head. And that really holds you back. So, yeah, I think that has really contributed to my success in this company, is just learning how to become a better version of myself. Yeah,
Fantastic.
through
Yeah.
personal development.
And
Yeah.
I believe that the gut and the brain are certainly connected. And guys, when you get those, I've learned this myself later in life, when you get these gut feelings, they're not always right, but you should listen to them at least, because they are connected and they're trying to tell you something. Same as your body. If you start getting aches and pains in your knee, it's probably going to get better before worse before it gets better. So check it out. Why is it sore? Did you bump it yesterday, or did you twist it in some way when you're getting in and out of bed or whatever? Listen to your body, guys, because it's sending you a message every day. Tell me, how do you stay motivated and continue to innovate in your field?
I think by focusing on my why is how I stay motivated. And also, it's not really hard to stay motivated when you're continually introducing something to people that is life-changing.
Yeah, when you have a passion, right? Passion will drive you a
when
long
you
way.
have a passion, absolutely. And, just always reflecting on why am I doing this? I could do many things, but, that's what really keeps me motivated. And how do I innovate in this field? It's not really my field to innovate, but I definitely keep on top of all the advancements. There's
Yeah, and
always
learning all the
continual
time.
studies into,
Keep up to
yeah.
date
So
with
we
what's
have
going on.
correct. We have a medical professionals board with ASEA, so I'm constantly on webinars and training events for that sort of thing. So,
Tell
yeah.
me, you've told us about a couple of ladies, but tell us any other recent projects or achievements that you're particularly proud of?
There's just, I thought about this question, and one thing came to my mind that I thought I should mention. A couple of years ago, in a company conference, there was a level of achievement that myself and a group of people were going for. And it was 2 weeks outside of the conference. And I looked into my virtual office, and I'm like, looking at the numbers going, I'm not going to make this. I can see this is not going to happen, and the self-doubt. And I actually started, playing that movie in my head of the disappointment I was going to feel. I really felt it, like this is before it even occurred. And I'm like going there. And then I suddenly realized what I'm doing. And I'm like, what are you doing? How are you ever going to make it if you're thinking like that? You've got to change that. And I luckily caught myself, and I just thought, well, what if I reverse this movie in my head? What if I make it what I really want? Right.
Yeah, good.
And I really did it, and I sat with it, and I felt it in my body. Yeah, I really felt it in my body. And just that one little thing changed the energy that I had for the next 2 weeks, in the way I spoke to people in conversations, the way I conducted myself in my business. And that was really that, and I made it. I made it to that level that I was going to, and
Well
I
done.
just could. I was unbelievable. And with 2 weeks before, I would have said to you, "There's just no way."
Well,
but it happened.
one of my favorite catch sayings to people is two of them, actually. One is, guys, no one's coming to save you, so save yourself. That's number one. That's a fact. And number two is, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. So, you made it happen. It didn't just drop out of the sky. You took a deep breath and thought, positively, and away it went. It's called stinking thinking, guys. So if you've got stinking thinking, just reverse it. If it rains, guys, just think, hey, got to be some rain to see a rainbow. Look at the positive side of things, not the negative.
And have you've read that book? Well, you've heard of Napoleon Hill, right?
I have. I've read a lot of books. Yeah.
One of his sayings, which really stuck with me when I first heard it, was, if you can hold it in your head, you can hold it in your hand.
Nice.
And I really think that,
that's a good one. Yeah,
that really plays a big part.
Some of those older guys come up with some awesome stuff. One of my ones I do every day is eat a frog. In other words, put down 6 things you've got to do today, and the one you don't want to do that first, because you feel so great when you've done that one out of the way. The other 5 are bloody easy. So get rid of the tough one
That's
first.
awesome.
Why you got all the energy. Looking ahead, what are your goals and aspirations for the future, please? What are you hoping to achieve?
I want to help thousands of people worldwide with ASEA's life-changing products, technology, and opportunity. And I want to do all of this whilst I'm sailing around in this beautiful ocean here behind me.
Beautiful.
On my yacht, experiencing cultures and countries of the world, which I've done a little bit before of in my life. But my husband and I, we're just very keen to get back there and take our kids with us this time. So that's the big goal.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's a great goal, because there's so many people, they grow up, guys, they get born, and they go to kindergarten, they go to high school, they go to university, they come out with a piece of paper, they can't get a job, they flip burgers for a while, and then they get married, they buy a car on hire purchase, buy a house on the 30-year plan, and they're dead when they're 25, and they just bury them when they're 65. That's not going to happen to our guest here. She's living life large, and so should you guys. If you digital warriors, what's to stop you from grabbing your laptop and working from anywhere in the world? Travel to the beaches of the world. It's probably half as cheap as what you're paying now anyway, and you'll have a hell of a lot more fun. And it certainly broadens the mind. As long as you stay away from those pirates, that's the main thing. Tell our listeners how they can reach out and find out more about your wonderful product. What's the best way?
Oh, amazing. Yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram.
Wonderful.
I think so. That's probably the easiest ways to find people these days is on social media, right?
Yep, it is indeed. But we'll be putting Shanley across all the social media channels, guys, particularly on YouTube, with all of her links, and you can catch up with her. And why not reach out and have a virtual cup of coffee? Costs you nothing to have a chat and find out about this wonderful product and see if it can help you. Because once you get past that 40 mark, guys, especially if you played a lot of sport when you're younger, those aches and pains start creeping in, and she may or may not be able to help you. Let's find out. So Shanley, you've been an awesome guest. Tell us one last thing. Tell us something. You've told us a lot about you, but tell us something that people don't know about you.
I used to be a scuba dive instructor, and I also worked on luxury yachts.
So you're definitely a water baby, aren't you?
I'm a water baby. Yes, always have been and always will be. But yeah, I had the pleasure of serving Rod Stewart. I don't know if you maybe that's showing my age, the rock star, Rod Stewart as a guest. So that was pretty cool.
I worked in a hotel as a kitchen hand, and I served, guys, my claim to fame, one of many, is that I served Johnny Farnham a hamburger the night they launched Say the Cleaning Lady. So how old am I?
Love it.
He had the long hair, and he's made more comebacks than me. Anyway, you've been an awesome guest, Shanley. Thank you very much for being here today. Any last words?
Thank you, Jeff. You guys, I guess, don't settle for ordinary, guys. Don't hold yourself back. Live an extraordinary life. You only get one life. You may as well make the most of it. And yeah, that'd be my parting words.
Great advice.